Barring any last-minute change, the APC will not be fielding a candidate in the forthcoming governorship election in Bayelsa State. The Independent National Electoral Commission excluded the name of the nominated candidate, Timipre Sylva, from the final list of candidates ahead of the November 11 polls. The amended list, which was uploaded on the Commission's website on Tuesday, was signed by the Secretary to the Commission, Rose Arianra-Antoni. According to Arianra-Antoni, the action of the Commission was in obedience to court orders served on the Commission. Recalling that the Commission published the final list of candidates for the 2023 Bayelsa State Governorship Election on June 9 in accordance with the provision of Section 32 of the Electoral Act 2022 and the timetable and schedules of activities for the election, she said after the publication, INEC was served with an order of court in respect of the nomination of candidate of the APC for the poll. On October 10, the Federal High Court in Abuja disqualified Sylva from participating in the state governorship election. To further discuss this, I'm being joined on the news by media analyst, Dr. Inebaraton Preye. Also joining me on the news is a public affairs analyst, Godswill Jumbo, I beg your pardon. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the news. Let me start with Dr. Preye. If you can confirm, you can hear me, please.
Yes, thank you. I can hear you very well.
All right, we'll start with you, Doctor. Can you tell us what the political atmosphere in Bayelsa is at the moment following the news of the exclusion of the APC flag bearer in the elections by the electoral umpire?
Well, as we speak right now, the situation is better described as electrifying. But a lot of issues, a lot of politics, a lot of, this period is period of politics that many people, as a voter and as a keen observer of the happenings around Bayelsa State, you are concerned. You are concerned about the reality on ground. You will ask, what is the reality on ground? The reality is the fact that the INEC, following the court judgment delivered by Justice Donatus Okorowo on the 10th of October, that the APC candidate will not be participating in the election. I think up till this minute, except there is any last-minute judgment, that is the position. Now, you ask me for the voter in Bayelsa State, what is their response to this situation? The situation is clear. It is not a blame game. It is not for anybody to say this is the position. But for me, I think they are apprehensive. Both sides, PDP supporters, they are celebrating one way or the other. The APC supporters, on their part, are optimistic that a last-minute position can take place and something else will happen. That is the situation on the ground here.
All right, let's come to you, Godswill. INEC said its action was in obedience to court orders, which disqualified the PDP candidate on the grounds that he would breach the 1999 Constitution as amended if allowed to contest again, having been sworn in twice and served 5 years as governor of the state. What's your general thought about this?
Okay, I think INEC hasn't done anything wrong. INEC has, acted within the ambits of the law. That's what I think. It is not. It's not in the place of INEC to determine who should contest and who should not contest, especially when an issue has, entered the judicial realm and a pronouncement has been made by the courts. INEC has to comply with what the court has ordered, and it's fine too that the candidate in this case, Timipre Sylva, has also sought succor still within the judicial environment by going to the appeal court to seek redress, to ask the appeal court to stay action on this, on implications of this judgment, implementation, and whatever consequences that accrue to that judgment is fine too, and raising posers in that direction. So I think INEC has acted well within the ambits of the law. I also think His Excellency Timipre Sylva has also acted right. But I think the development is a worrisome development. It's something that should give all Nigerians, cause for concern. Why is it that, every time there's an election, instead of people preparing to go to the polls and confront their opponents and market, themselves, and through the votes, we'll see the marketability, we'll see the acceptability, see the popularity of the candidates. Candidate A wants to find one judicial obstacle or the other to knock off the other person from contesting against him. And most times they use surrogates, they use third party people. You say, I didn't go to court, somebody else went to court.
But doctor, let me interject and just ask you quickly, because it's been playing in my head. Is the party itself to blame for this ruling by the courts, considering, of course, that they could have reviewed the laws before bringing forth the candidate, Timipre Sylva, who the court says has served 2 terms as governor?
Okay, without using the word blame, I think maybe we should say the political parties owe Nigeria and Nigerians the responsibility of getting it right with the candidates they put out. I want to think that within every political party in Nigeria, there are lawyers, especially constitutional lawyers, lawyers who are versed in the laws surrounding our electoral process. I also believe there are politicians who have been around, for a long time across party lines, within every political party. So the onus is on the political parties to do their homework. You should look at what is the personal history of the person. What is his mental health situation? What is his academic background? What is his career path like? What is his working experience? What are the issues?
I mean, for an experienced party, Godswill, for an experienced party, one wouldn't expect that the PDP will fall for this. But of course, we don't know what will happen in the coming days. I'll come back to you in a bit. Let's just quickly touch base with Dr. Preye. What effect do you think this will have on the general integrity and fairness of the electoral process in Bayelsa State?
Well, if you look at the percentage of election turnout, you see a decline, and you will see a fluctuating situation of the electoral process. In some cases, especially like cases in the House of Assembly, you see a massive turnout in some places. I have, over the years, covered elections in Southern Niger, covered election in Nembe Brass, covered election in Preye and Ekpetiama and other areas within and even in the riverine area. And you see a situation whereby the turnout in some House of Assemblies following the trend. With 3,000 votes, you are 10 return elected in some areas. If you look at it in the last election, you see that the highest that was returned elected was that of Yenegua local government with with less than 20,000 votes. And that tells you with the population, number of PVC collected, number of people that have yet to collect their PVC, over 20,000 votes.
Okay.
That is an indication that much is still needed to be done by the electoral umpire by sensitizing those in the grassroots, especially for them to be encouraged in the electoral process. Because one thing is certain, if nothing is being done, that market woman in Swale will be worried that what is the essence of my vote if I cast my vote and tomorrow
that would, Dr. Preye, I'm sorry to interject, but we're almost out of time. That would work if the integrity of the process is improved upon, like you have said. Let's come back to Godswill to quickly conclude your thoughts on the lessons for political parties. I mean, the PDP is an experienced party. They shouldn't be in such a situation. Or did they maybe, the APC and the PDP in this case, there's issues to be discussed, really. So what would be your advice to political parties to do their due diligence and to avoid relying on the courts?
Okay, I would say that the political parties need to take note of the fact that, every time they do not do their homework, and we have situations like this, where for some reason, either the courts or INEC or whoever, has to make that call of dropping a candidate of a particular political party. It renders, the whole process, it makes a mess of it. It denies the electorate, the opportunity to be able to make a choice between, the candidates. It reduces the number of people who want to get into the environment. Sometimes you find the challenge is that the candidate, the main or preferred candidate, is either the financier of the party, is maybe the leader of the party, is maybe the person pulling all the strings. So how do members of the party who are constituted into the screening panel now disqualify such a person? Who is bringing the money, who is bringing the position, bringing the opportunities, and all of that. So it becomes a challenge. So I think the political parties need to join the vanguard of, building strong institutions in the country. Institutions that can operate without any kind of influence. If they do this, they will be able to give Nigerians a process that is believable, that, inspires confidence.
And get more market women, like Dr. Preye said, to be part of the process because of the confidence that they would have. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.